Hi, I'm Loli, and I'm so glad you are here. Let us start by using one of these birdhouses, this tray, and some tissue paper and a dowel rod. All of these came from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the birdhouse tray and the dowel rod with 2 to 3 coats of this Krylon white paint. Once everything was dry, I'm going to take the tissue paper that has this ferns and leaves print to it, and I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the edges of this tray, and I'm going to try to make it as thin as possible. I'm going to let it dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to apply the tissue paper directly onto the Mod Podge. I try to use big strips so I'm able to use a continuous piece to go all the way around the entire tray. Friends, if you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. As I added the tissue paper in the little sections, I am slowly tapping it down and rubbing it very lightly to remove any bubbles or any wrinkling. I am keeping the tissue paper straight, even though that means that at the end I will have extra paper, but that is fine. We will be dealing with that later on. I just kept adding the Mod Podge, as you see right here, on each one of the sides, and making sure that my paper lines up with the bottom of the tray. That way my print is nice and straight as well. And as you see right here, this is what I mean. I'm making sure that that paper is straight. And then here, unfortunately, I had only enough to cover the third side, but that is not an issue. I'm going to come in later on and cut another piece of tissue that is a little bit smaller and is perfect to fit in this section. I just bought the ending of the tissue that was already attached and added this one over it, like making sure that it's nice and close. And I'm just going to cut off the excess tissue. Just make sure that you're not cutting too much, that you end up with a gap between the two pieces of tissue. I also made sure to add Mod Podge where that seam is as well, to make sure that it stays nicely adhered and there's no lifting. Just make sure that when you're cutting this, you are cutting it so close together you cannot tell that we cut off any tissue off that corner. Once everything dried, I'm coming in with this emery board and I am sanding off the excess to reveal the beautiful scallop edge. Then it's time to work on the little house. So I'm going to take the house and we're going to do the same thing that we did with the previous piece, but I'm making this strip a lot thicker because it's going to go on the walls of this birdhouse. Now that the paper is nice and ready, I'm going to add a Mod Podge to the first side right here, making sure that it's nice and thin. And we are going to add the tissue paper there. I am using the edges as a guide to make sure that everything is nice and straight. And as I'm applying the tissue, I am slowly tapping and dabbing and smoothing out the surface to make sure there's no wrinkles or any bubbling. And I just work in small sections on each side at a time, being very careful to not oversaturate my piece with Mod Podge. And we are leaving the front as it is. Now that it's dry, I'm coming in with my emery board from Dollar Tree and I'm removing the excess paper off of the edges of the birdhouse. We are adding the same tissue to the roof as well, so we're going to do the same process. And please don't ask me why I left that cord at the top of that birdhouse, because I have no idea. But I will take it off eventually. But here we are going to find the middle of our base of the birdhouse. So I'm using a straight tool. Here I'm using my emery board to draw a line from one end to the opposite end to find the middle intersection, which will be the middle of our birdhouse. And that is where I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole so I'm able to fit my dowel rod. I was using this little drill bit, but it wasn't working. So I'm breaking out the big one right here. Here, by putting the dowel rod into the holes, it tells me which is the right size that I need. So I position that on my drill. And here we go with boring that hole. Now we are going to add the dowel rod right in there. I made the decision to use this dowel rod that I have used previously to mix paint with, so it was thick in some sections and not in others. So I struggle here. But if you use a brand new one, you will have no issues. It will slide into that. Here I am pulling out that piece of rope from the top. I had to, fish it out using my scissors and my Cricut tool. It was not easy, but I persevered and conquered. So here I'm going to push my dowel rod through that hole to create a little chimney, as you see right there. Now we're going to go ahead and reinforce that in there with a bit of hot glue. Then I'm taking some of my Arteza pen pens and I'm going to trace a border around every single design at the front of the birdhouse. First, I had picked these two colors of green. This is like a hunter kind of green, but I felt it was a little neonish. And then here I'm adding another green that's a little bit lighter, but they both seem like they were a little bit neon. And it kind of went with the colors that I had on my paper, but I wasn't sure. But for now, I decided to take some of this Moss color from Waverly and paint the ledge with that color and also the edges of the roof as well. I didn't like it and changed my mind. I'm coming in with this dark green from Dollar Tree and I'm going over that moss color to give it more of a darker look. I went over all the areas in which I had painted it with the moss color. And then I added moss to this back section here where I had paper where the paper didn't go all the way. I really didn't feel like adding the whole thing. I should have done this part differently and just cut the piece that it went all the way back, but I did want a little bit more interest by having two tones. Then here I'm adding some of this floral foam to the base of my tray, and we are going to position the birdhouse into that floral foam. Then I took those two picks from Dollar Tree and added them onto the tray. Now we're going to add some greenery as well to fill in the bottom section. And I changed my mind again. I didn't like how that was looking, so I'm going to add some Spanish moss in between the flowers. And we are also going to change the green around the base and at the face of the birdhouse. You let me know which one was your favorite. Did you like it with all the green there on the petals and the butterfly and at the base? Or do you prefer this second version, having this be a little bit more muted? My friend, if you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone because sharing is caring and it helps my channel grow. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is how it's looking like so far as I'm partitioning this up. Hi, Gabe. This is my son saying hello to you all. And then here, this is how it ended up looking after I made all the changes I decided to make. Let me know what you think. All right, so today's video is part of a collaboration. It is a talented creators collaboration that is hosted monthly by my friend Aurea from DIY with Aurea and myself, Loli from Loli Creations. Our guest host this month is Mary from Craft Away with May. And our co-host is Cynde from Z9 Designs. The links to our channels and to the playlist will be linked in the description box below and also pinned in the comments. Make sure that you head on over to the channels and to the playlist and show everyone some love. Talking about showing some love, we have some birthdays this month. Lisa from Our Gray House and C from CJ DIYs. Make sure you visit their channels and wish them a very happy birthday. And let them know that Loli said happy birthday. All right, back to the DIYs. The next one here, I'm going to be using this vase that I got from Dollar Tree. The first thing that I did was go ahead and clean it very nicely with this wipe glass cleaner from Dollar Tree. We're also going to make sure to remove the tag as well. Once it is nice and clean and dry, I'm going to give it a coat of Mod Podge. I'm going to let it sit and dry, but I sped things up by adding some heat to the inside of the glass. The heat dispersed and it dries so quickly. Now I'm going to mix some of my Kryolan satin paint with some baking soda. This is going to give me a nice ceramic gritty look that I'm looking for. Now we are going to give this vase 3 light coats with this mixture. It's important to avoid any saturation at the opening there at the top as the baking soda wants to collect there. So here I'm just making sure that it's nice and light and that everything is going in the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and let it dry. I'm going to help it dry with some help from my heat gun, but being very careful not to heat it too much to avoid bubbling. When it dried, I just sanded it down a little bit and gave it another coat. And this is how it turned out at the end. Look how beautiful that is. It looks just like pottery. Then I took some of these greeneries that I got from Dollar Tree. They're called foliage. And I'm going to go ahead and remove those tags off of them. And I'm going to position the leaves on opposite sides so I'm able to put them in. If you see right there, I have them all facing towards the right, and then the other one I have them facing towards the left. And when they come together, look how beautiful the bunch is. Then we are going to just go ahead and throw it right there inside of our vase and arrange the leaves until we are happy with how our plant is looking in our vase. And that's pretty much it for this one. You guys let me know what you think. I want to take a quick moment to say thank you to my subscribers for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing. All these things help me tremendously. They help my channel grow, and I appreciate you very much for them. And if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe and join the DollartreeDiy Creations family. It is free and it means the world to me. You ready for the next one? Let's go ahead. I'm going to take one of these wood pieces from Dollar Tree, or MDF actually. We are going to go ahead and remove that hanger and the sticker, and I'm going to paint it with 3 coats of this Krylon white paint. Then I'm going to take this leaf that I got from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove that stem because we do not need it for this project. And we are also going to cut off that piece that the stem went into. We want this to be nice and straight. Now that it's nice and flat, we are going to glue down the leaf onto the middle of the piece there, making sure to not burn ourselves, holding it in place until it dried. I just did this until I went around the entire leaf. Then I took some of these beads that I got from Dollar Tree in a pack from the Easter time, and I went with this green. I thought it will be nice and cute. It will be the 2 different colors between the green, really the perfect match with the other 2 DIYs. But here I just decided to just burn off the fuzzies, and I'm going to tie this right back onto my frame. I repositioned this back on there, making it a nice knot, nice and tight, and then I'm feeding that tail onto the beads to reveal a nice seamless hanger from here. And I let this sit, guys, overnight, trying to, say I was done with it. But honestly, I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't know, it's missing something. It's not giving me the vibes that I'm going for. So, I let it sit. But then I decided that I would rather the hanger to be black. So I changed it to black. And this is how it ended up at the end. Let me know which version you liked, if you like the green or if you like the black. And here we are with the final reveal. Don't forget to let me know which one of these is your favorite. My friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. And if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links. And don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist. If you would like to watch some more of my videos, here's a suggestion, and you are more than welcome to binge away with this playlist as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You're amazing. Bye.